Well, so were you around a lot of the up and comingness and energy of the Newtrons? Like, how much
Absolutely.
of that did you see?
I was a bodyguard, bro. I was a little chubby, little, fat boy, 7, 8 years old, and they used to bring. I was everywhere. I was behind the curtains on everything. So down to when Ron Newt, and this would be definitely in the movie that J&M is doing. When Ron Newt escaped from prison, before he even escaped, I was with my dad at the court dates. You know what I'm saying? On the phone, Ron used to call all day, and that's when I found out about three-way calling. You know what I mean? When my dad would call everybody for him, he was just like his real confidant for a long time. And he broke out, and of course we didn't know. He didn't tell nobody, but he came to the house. Him and Lil Ronnie, his son. Well, he was so damn young, which is crazy, but he was driving them, and they came to the house, got some bread, got some change of clothes, and then they was on their way down to L.A. So I was asleep when it happened, but my dad answered the door. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. They just stopped by to grab some money and shit just to go down just to help him out. And after that, it was just like superstardom, right? They went down to LA, got the deal with MCA Records, which MCA Records is now Universal. Well,
if you can remember, what was the figure? Like how much?
It was an $8 million contract.
Right.
They had an $8
million contract on the run.
On the run
from the feds.
From the feds, bro. He had an $8 million contract for some unknown artists. Like these kids was brand new.
But
they had a little buzz.
Though. They were literally.
Yeah, no, they were. But but as far as in the industry, they weren't. It's not like now with social media where they can get. They was like. It was like watching the Jackson 5 movie when they doing talent shows and just rocking it, and then get that chance to go meet Diana Ross and go to her house and audition for Berry Gordy. Yeah. Like that's how they did it, like straight up talent, hard work, and they did it. And from signing the contract all the way up until him going back up there with a grenade in his pocket, they claim, you know what I mean, and going back to jail. I was there. I was in A.D. Washington's office. I remember one time he got mad at him. He had me and Lil Ronnie go run up in the stock room and steal. We stole like 1,000 like promo CDs, just hellish posters. We was just taking shit out the room because that's how Ron was. He'd be mad at him one day. We got to fuck up the whole office. The next day we cool. But just down there in L.A. they had a huge house in Pomona, I believe, and we used to just be down there all the time and fucking. T.Y. Uzi's up here what's the name of Eastmont Mall?
Yeah,
that was the first time I ever seen like superstar. I'm talking about thousands of people that did in-store there at T.Y. Uzi's, and thousands of people, bro, in line to see these young men. And I was a security guard. I was right there. I had some polka dot hammer pants on with like a back then you used to have to dress up. I think I had like the flat top with the part. It was wild. We got video. We got footage of all of that. I don't know where it's at, but we got to find it. We got footage of all of that. And I used to just be there with my big ass eyes, just looking at all of this shit. And it became like a part of me, man. It was dope. It was dope. It was cool. And they were stars, bro. They were like on their way. It's just that at the time BBD was on fire, and they was label mates with BBD. So it was like. It was a three-man group.
And there was a lot of, it was some tragedies that happened.
Of course. That shit should.
I'm gonna save that for their storytelling. But I just know
the 30th anniversary is coming up.
Is that right?
On May 1st. Yeah, that shit rocked our world, bro. Like Ronnie was like my guy, man. He was. I mean, you gotta think he was only 15 years old. Right. So we'll get into that later. I'll let Jay tell that story. That shit rocked our world, man. That was the worst day of my young life at that point. Right.